All right, folks. This is a video of what we're going to be watching tomorrow to hopefully catch some day trades in. I always try to start the videos with a daily chart of the SPY, and you had the gap up today in an extremely narrow range. Doesn't even look like a candlestick, right? It looks like a plus sign. But that's what I was saying in chat. That's why we start every day with a watch list from stocks that are recent movers, because then they're basically in play, and morning gappers, because those are in play as well. So it's always... even when the market's going to be sideways chop, the hope is a recently in play stock will give a setup. Probably my favorite setup today was NNE. It was already on watch. That whole space was on watch. And then let me go to 5-minute candles. And I called this as a yellow line play as it was coming down here, which is basically the 15's buy zone between the 20 and the 60 on 5s, right? The yellow line kind of marks the middle of that zone. Also coming down to retest the earlier high. So if you happen to catch this in that 15's buy zone, somewhere around 14.05 to 14.10, you got over $1 move from there. And so that's why I love the buy zones. That's why I love the, that our yellow line play. Because back in the day, when this was rolling over like this, I would have been like, yeah, I'm not touching it, right? And now I'm sitting there bidding on these things. So I love those setups. I appreciate the teamwork, people pointing them out all day long. Let me slide this over. For the new faces in chat, pause the video and read that, please. It's a good explanation of what we're all about. So speaking of NNE, this one definitely goes back on watch tomorrow. This whole space is super interesting to me after that Microsoft 3 Mile Island headline from Friday. Excuse me. I swear I have no voice left. So NNE, love the volume. The most recent high, I always try to check that, 1632, which was about a week ago. And then today's high, 1539. If we take out 1539 tomorrow, we might just bust through that 1632. And we might get a setup below that 1539 high. Maybe a play through 15 tomorrow on an intraday setup that we look for, right? So anyway, NNE goes on watch. I'm just going to throw the other ones in that same space on watch too. SMR. I like the big rip on Friday and the inside day today. And then the third one in that space, OKLO, is holding up pretty well. All right. I wish I had the 200-day on here because I think it's at like 997 on this one. But anyway, it scrunched all my intraday charts, so I'm going with this one. All right. So that's those three. I'm going to put Intel back on watch because you had the big rip on Friday, right? And then the quiet inside day today, looking for a possible third day play there. APLD is kind of in a range, but I've put the horizontal line at the top of the range. It's trying to break out above that. So keep this one on your radar. IMRX is just a kind of a handsome chart, still in play. We had a red day here on very low volume, could easily maybe turn back up tomorrow. Goes on watch. LASE is what I would call stupid ahead of itself. I don't know what's moving this thing, but you know, I'm a day trader. I'll put it on watch. It's extended, but what I'd love to see is a 2 or 3 day pullback, and then it would be one of my top watches. Poet, P-O-E-T, nice breakout today. Maybe a follow through setup tomorrow. Where am I? I'm putting this one on watch. An old nemesis of mine, OMEX, but a lot of traders are watching it because of this nasty sell-off. And it held up okay. Put in a higher low today, so that one goes on potential long watch tomorrow. Obviously only for a trade, and that's only if we get a setup. UXIN, big day. Maybe a follow through tomorrow. SMMT got down close to the 20-day today after a really nice move there, so that one goes on bounce watch. Lunar goes on bounce watch. I'd like to see a couple red days, so I'd like another red day, but this one has been super strong on some good news. We had kind of an ugly red day today, so I'm going to start watching it for a bounce tomorrow. Nova, N-O-V-A, goes on bounce watch. Kind of had nice support here in this area where the horizontal line is, and it's worked its way back down there. RDFN is Redfin, getting down to that area between the 8 and the 20 we like, and maybe going to see this high back here. That was 1180-ish. Maybe it's going to retest. A lot of times you get the breakout, you get a retest of that recent high. And that also coincides with, you know, maybe a whole number flush below 12 and the 20-day. So that one's on watch. And then lastly, MSS, which is gapping in after hours on earnings, is trading at $1.71. So if that one's still gapping, we'll watch that one. And I'll be in the pre-market, adding other gappers as well. Feel free to join me in the pre-market and help me build a gap playlist tomorrow. I'm done babbling. We'll see you in chat.